All right.
Hello, everyone. It's Erin Slutsky, and I am here today with my beautiful client and friend, Rebecca. And she has agreed to share with you, with all of us, a little bit about her coaching journey. Now, Rebecca is a life coach herself. So she has the unique perspective of not just receiving coaching, but being a coach as well. So, Rebecca, why don't you just do a little intro to share who you are and um, what got you into life coaching yourself?
Um, so I have been a life coach for 5 years. And before that, I worked in the field of in the nonprofit fields with people. And I just loved, as I started to read and research about coaching, I just loved the concept of coaching because it's completely meant to draw on the strengths and um, the character of the person that's being coached, and to really get tools and resources to help those people excel and grow and solve challenges that they're experiencing. And so it's not about the coach or me telling people what to do, but it's really about helping them draw on their own abilities.
Mm,
Really powerful. And so that's why I wanted to get into coaching. And the beautiful thing too is that coaching, the standard in coaching is doing it virtually, and it is very comfortable, talking to somebody and sharing with somebody when you're in your own home. There's just a lot more comfort in that and ability to kind of dig deeper and get the work done. So yeah, that's been really,
yeah,
really what drew me to it.
yeah, I agree too. So, what would you say is your favorite thing about life coaching?
My favorite thing about receiving coaching or coaching other people.
Coaching other people. We'll get into that second part a little later.
My favorite thing about coaching other people is getting to cheer them on. I think
Mm,
people are sometimes even surprised at what happens, at like what they see and how they excel and what they accomplish. And it's so fun being in on that surprise, being able to have a front row seat to those great things that happen through coaching.
yeah. And how would you say being a life coach has um, affected you personally?
Um, so I think that it just kind of opens up your eyes to the possibilities. Like we tend to kind of live in a narrow focus or a narrow vision of life. And when you start to explore and see the possibilities, when you receive coaching and when you learn about coaching and do coaching, you start to realize that we're sometimes we bind ourselves up in thinking that life has to be a certain way, and there's a lot of possibilities. And so it's really fun, not only as I like encounter challenges myself or have new things that come across my plate, but also with my family, helping I have 3 daughters and helping them see the greater possibility for what's out there, and that they don't have to meet, a certain standard or do it a certain way, but they can do it in a way that matches them and their strengths and abilities. And so that's really fun.
Yeah, so you are a fellow girl mom. You have three
Yes.
girls, I have four girls, and so we know that world together very well.
Mhm.
And it is rewarding to take our coaching skills into our parenting and
Yes.
our relationships and with our husbands. Um, if you came across someone and they didn't know what coaching was, and the first thing they think of is therapy, because that's pretty familiar with most people, how
Yeah.
would you personally differentiate therapy from coaching?
Um, so one of the things that I found most helpful is the idea that with therapy, you're kind of looking and digging into the past and what has gotten in people's way and where they need healing. And coaching is more about, where do you want to go from here? How do you want to launch into the future? What's
Mm,
getting in your way now? Or Where are you finding it challenging, and what do you really want? Let's get there. Let's help you
Mhm.
do the things that you really want.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of alluded a little bit to you receiving life coaching. And
Mhm.
so we have been together for almost a year now. We've been working
Yes.
together, and I don't know about you, but I have just treasured every session. And when I see you on my calendar, I'm like, yay, it's a Rebekah day. So
Yes, I
I've
love it.
really enjoyed it. I have enjoyed seeing you grow from a coach that was, kind of struggling a little bit with confidence and am I really, doing this, to someone who, I mean, I can see you even in your face today. I'm confident. I'm excited about this and I can't wait to see what else my
Mhm.
business is going to bring me. And so I am a firm believer in not taking my clients through something or asking them to do anything that I haven't done myself. So having your own life coach to me is really important, and obviously to you it is too. So maybe share with us a little bit your journey, our journey of coaching this past year, and how you have seen life coaching benefit yourself.
Absolutely. Um, so I think I could recognize early on in my and I've enjoyed working with coaches throughout my journey of coaching it. And and I think it's just been so helpful for me. You kind of know your blind spots, and there's some that you don't see too. And it's just really helpful for me to have somebody that is so encouraging and helping you kind of work through those challenges, and also able to kind of stand in the gap for you and help you kind of, get to the place that you're wanting to go. And so even more so this past year, you know, uh, before I started working with you, I knew that I really resonated with the Enneagram and how it kind of framed my personality. And I could see some really significant challenges that were getting in my way on in my personal life, and really my coaching life too is my personal life. It's all together. But just I could see these things that were getting in my way, kind of like the also things that are strong about who I am, like being a go-getter and being an achiever, and really loving people and their personalities, and knowing that how I sync with them is really important as a coach. But then also kind of the raw side of those things of, thinking I needed to work my way into people's goodness, or wanting to feel like I could win people over or be popular in order to get clients.
Mm.
Those things, those mindsets were really getting in my way. And so it's really been so helpful for me to coach with you and to address some of those challenges, because they truly can be strengths and ways that I can shine through my personality. But I also just need, help kind of working through the parts of them that are flaws and are things that, can get in my way as well. So it's my desire to really do coaching well, do my life well, and by kind of recognizing the challenges and working through those, I can do that. And I think it's just been really helpful too for my marriage and my husband. As many couples, we are very much opposites in many ways. And so it's easy to see your personality as like, well, this is, how it should be, or this is the way we do things. But it's really a gift to be able to see each other, and how you come to the table with different abilities and characteristics, and work together as a team. So it's just been really helpful too for me to gain coaching around that, and just kind of be able to come together better with my husband based on
Yeah. Right. So it sounds like coaching has not just affected your professional life, but your personal life. And like you
yeah.
said before, it's all kind of intermingled. And
Mhm.
so, if someone were considering hiring a coach, what do you
Mhm.
think that they should be looking for?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that it's a helpful thing to interview coaches and just to kind of see what their perspective is. And if you resonate with them on a personal level. To me, for me, what's been important to me is to have somebody that will challenge me. They're not just, kind of making me feel good or something like that, but they're really meant to challenge me. But also being an encouragement and a cheerleader, because life is hard and it's hard facing some of the things that maybe we aren't as good at, or we have a little bit more raw, we're a little more raw on. And so having somebody that can challenge you and help you see things differently, take a different perspective, but also cheer you on along the way as you do it. I mean, that's golden. That's really good. I would say that it's not that just to get out there, that it's easy to tell ourselves that, to kind of find loopholes, reasons not to dig in and not to find somebody, not to get coaching. But there is so much richness that comes when you step out and you take the risk to do it. It doesn't mean it won't be hard. You're forced to face things that are hard and to be personal, but oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking one last question.
Okay.
What has been something that stands out to you in this past year that maybe you thought that you couldn't ever maybe overcome or get through, or what is a insight that you've gained that is still sticking with you?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think that sometimes one of the things we talked about is things that sort of, oh gosh, I don't know. I think it's easy to tell ourselves that we aren't the type of person that does such and such, or like we were talking a couple weeks ago about people about networking or being in meetings that we're uncomfortable with, or being in situations where we're uncomfortable. And it's easy to kind of tell yourself to avoid those, or that you're not the type of person that can do those things. But, I think that one of the things that's helpful for me is just to not see those kinds of boundaries, that I can do those things in a way that meets my personality and my strengths. But just because it's hard doesn't mean it can't be good, and that there's a way out of that. So I think
And
is good.
yeah, and knowing the difference, because sometimes we're putting ourselves in a situation that we probably shouldn't be in, and we're forcing it because we're trying to be people pleasers. We're trying to make everyone happy or not look bad. And knowing that through knowing your Enneagram type is so helpful. I'll tell the audience we're both Enneagram 3s.
Yes.
So it's interesting though, isn't it, that we're similar in some things, but other things we're not. And yet we're still considered in the same Enneagram type. And we've talked a little bit about subtypes and being social or self-preservation or sexual, and that plays a lot into it as well. So knowing yourself will obviously help you become better at work, better at home, and who you really authentically are. And so sometimes you need that objective person to come in and see things that you don't see, and encourage you, like you said, and challenge you.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else that you wanted to share or add as we close up here?
I was just going to say to what you just said too, we're created to live in community with other people, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves sometimes to make it happen, to be better, be good, put this pressure on ourselves, when we're really, coaching is the perfect situation to come in on it, like that, where you're needing partnership, you're needing community, and somebody that can help speak into your life in a way that your friends and family can't. It's just really meaningful to be in a coaching relationship like that.
I agree. And I've loved our coaching relationship.
Me too.
I think we'll just wrap up here. And if anyone watching has some questions or really curious about what life coaching with us would be like, reach out. Rebekah, where can people find you?
Um, my website is rklifecoach.com. So you can message me or schedule an appointment with me through there, see more about what I do as a coach.
Okay. And you're on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yep, at RK Life Coach.
Yeah, RK Life Coach. And like Rebekah said before, interview your life coach. We are both life coaches. We're both Enneagram 3s. We're both girl moms, but we're different. And you may connect with one of us better than the other. We just have a different style. Rebekah, tell us who you serve and who you just really love to work with.
I serve women that provide care for others. So women across the life spectrum, whether it's moms, family caregivers that are caring for a loved one, or grandparents that are raising their grandchildren. That's my passion. I love coming alongside of those women.
Right. And so if you are geared more towards that, give Rebekah a call and interview her and see if you guys are a good fit, right? Whereas I work more in the relationship realm and leadership. And I am a firm believer in leading yourself well so you can lead others well. Thank you, Rebekah. And thank you everyone for watching. Reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you and talk more about what it would look like for you to get some support and life coaching in your life.